Anta baka? A few months ago, we took a look at the first rebuild of Evangelion movie after a showing at the Hollywood Theater in Dormont, and now we're ready to talk about the second after it showed last weekend. If 1.0 was the same old story wrapped in a prettier package, then 2.0 has the same pretty package, but its contents are fresher and more unique. Those familiar with the TV series will still be able to pick out which battles were discarded or altered to make the plot flow more smoothly, but the differences are apparent right from the beginning when we are whisked away to the Arctic to meet a new pilot, Mari Makanami, and a new Evangelion, Provisional Unit 5. Mari allows Gainax to add a glasses girl to its stable of marketable characters, and her addition siphons a lot of the aggression away from the film's toned-down version of Asuka. Asuka retains her pride and her confrontational attitude, but manages to be less abrasive than her TV counterpart. Whether or not her backstory has also changed remains to be seen. After Asuka is introduced, the next two battles proceed more or less as they did in the series. First is the fight against Sahagwheel, which attempts to drop itself on Tokyo 3. The three Eva pilots are forced to work together to prevent the drop from succeeding. Then, Bardiel takes over Evangelion Unit 3, and Shinji, unwilling to attack it for fear of harming the human inside, is forced to watch in horror as the dummy plug AI does its dirty work. The film does differentiate itself in making Asuka the test pilot of Unit 3, as opposed to Toji. This only gives her a little over an hour as an active player, which might explain why her changes were what they were. With less time to interact with the others, her development had to be more condensed. She still warms up to Shinji as her usual tsundere self, and isn't completely honest about her feelings. But Rei and Shinji show some major development. Rei takes the initiative to try and organize a dinner to bring everyone together, with the goal of breaking the ice between Shinji and Gendo. She feels an affinity for both of them and wants to give some of that feeling back. And this, combined with her lines about being bonded with the Eva, suggests that her ultimate purpose hasn't really changed much from the series. But she still feels more human, which I consider a plus. And then there is Shinji. His turning point comes after the fight with Unit 3. Now, like in the TV series, he is still angered by the use of the dummy plug and argues about it with Gendo. But this time he does so while physically attacking NERV headquarters. Because the film does not have the time for the kind of introspective monologues present in the series, it's forced to make Shinji more expressive. And in this case, I think it's a real improvement. Dumbed down or not, he's a lot more likable this way. Shinji's return to NERV for the final battle is also different, for the same reason. His conviction is more apparent. While he still confronts Gendo and demands to be allowed back in Unit 1, this time he does it after witnessing firsthand the devastation of the geofront. In the TV series, he rejoins after a pep talk from Kaji, but this time all that he gets is a badly injured Mari telling him to run away now if he wants to get out alive. So like Rei, Shinji is made more human by his characterization in the second film, and while it doesn't make up for all of his flaws, it gives him a more sharply defined sense of self and purpose. When he enters the final battle, he has a clear goal in mind, and his pursuit of that goal might ultimately bring about the third impact. Although it has to cover nearly twice as much material as the first film, Rebuild 2.0 easily meets the standard set by its predecessor. And after watching the final battle escalate from one scene to the next, you may feel it surpasses it. Even though more TV material had to be omitted, at no point did it feel like anything was missing from the story. It does increase apprehension for the third film, which we might get sometime next year. But at this point, I wouldn't be at all surprised if Gainax moved the release to after the Mayan apocalypse, just to mess with us. And that does it for this edition of the blog. Vermilion is done for the fall, but the spring semester is right around the corner, beginning of January. We will see you there, Saturday nights at 7 p.m. I am Dan, and I am out.